Welcome to the Lutetia Lounge. Produced by Studio Whacked.
I mean, they used to have a buddy we had on here of mine who was a two-time world champion of longboard surfing. He said that when he went to South Africa, he was down there with some surf buddies, and they were there and stuff. He's half Mexican, but his mother was like a native from Mexico. So we're talking about Native Americans, basically. And his father's Jewish, so he was dark skinned. He said that when he went down there, he wasn't considered, black, but they had areas for the whites.
I know. I went there.
And then they had areas for like the browns, and they had areas for the blacks. So he couldn't even go into the white area. He had to stay in the brown area, but he could go down to the black area. You can go down, but you can't go up. So the whites obviously could go into all the areas, but he couldn't go into a white area because he was too dark.
I mean, South Africa. I just went to Cape Town, but it was quite traumatizing and shocking out there.
How old were you when you went there?
Oh, it was like 15 years old.
Okay.
15 years ago.
So obviously apartheid was over, but then you still have the vestiges of it.
No, you still have it for sure. You still have like places where you are only the dark skin and then only the white skins. And I remember I was with my producer, Jules Young. He was originally from Senegal, and he was so embarrassed about the places, and he really felt very, very bad, and I felt bad for him because it was the look, the atmosphere. I didn't like it. I mean, it's obviously very beautiful out there, but the atmosphere was quite
tense.
Shocking. Yeah, I hated it. It was never mixed. Never ever.
And this guy you were with, he was a white cat?
He was from Senegal. He was black.
Okay.
And so, because he was a producer, he was able to go to the white places. But he was the only one for sure. And every time we were shooting somewhere, it was beautiful house. It was only white, and you had all the black guys, working in the fields and everything, and
or in the kitchen or doing the
exactly as you have in California with the Latina community.
The majority of Mexicans, I shouldn't say only Mexicans, but Latino. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans. You have
but the Latina community,
Ecuadorians.
it's crazy. And when I went there like 2 months ago with Chloe Wari, I told you about the illustrator I'm working with. She was immediately shocked about that.
Chloe, what's her name?
Chloe Wari.
Why?
Wari, Wary. So she's the one I'm working with for the comic book,
And she's French?
She's French, yeah.
Okay.
So she flew with me to Los Angeles, but it was the first time for her in the U.S.
Oh, wow. That must have been...
And when that was the first thing. We went to In-N-Out Burger, and she was looking at all the people in the In-N-Out Burger and people in the kitchen, and she said, "Oh, okay, it's only Mexicans working there." Yeah, exactly.
That's funny because that's one thing I actually truly miss.
It's In-N-Out.
Well, I do kind of miss In-N-Out sometimes. Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, you get a double animal style.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and one of their shakes are good.
Yeah. I mean, 100% animal style, but yeah.
At any rate, to come back to Miles, one of the times that he was when he was supposed to be a jeweler, but he didn't ever go. He went back home and he sat down and was, I guess, just shooting the shit with his mom, and that's when he found out that she was like a singer and played piano. Like he didn't even know.
That's crazy.
And it's really nuts, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. But you should do a documentary.
Oh gosh, I mean that would be a great subject. I mean, obviously, like you said, there hasn't ever been a really exhaustive doc put out, like the one on Bob Marley. I mean, there's been many on Bob Marley.
Yeah, but a big piece on mice for sure. I mean, I missed that.
That'd be great. We should. There's a collaboration there.
Yeah, but I need to really dig into it because I love mice, but I can't say I'm like you, knowing everything about every details, and I need to feel very confident about that when I'm talking about a subject, knowing very well. But this is would be super nice.
It'd be a super subject, yeah. They're actually putting they're bringing that the most, not the most recent one where it was actually a reenactment of Bob's life, but the one that was called Marley, the one that's like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
They're bringing it back out in cinemas for his 80th, what would have been his 80th birthday, which was a great film. I mean, it was very.
Oh yeah,
it
yeah,
was the most-
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
It covered everything. But
Yeah.
so yeah,
Bob and Miles for sure. I mean,
well, yeah, well that was something that was a different kind of success story, because I guess he was sort of the spokesman for the third world. I mean, he was the first, I guess, rock and roll star from the third world, right? And also he was the one who carried the torch, because I think it was Peter Tosh who left after their first tour in England, and then Bunny sort of jumped ship afterwards, and he was like, I have to carry on, because he knew he wanted to bring his message to everybody. Also because of Rastafarianism. I mean, he was pushed by something greater than he was.
oh, for sure, definitely. That's amazing to see that even today is so powerful. You know, in his with his music and his meanings. You know, my daughter, she's 12 years old. She's coming from this era, third arrondissement, Paris, very bourgeois place. You know, and she's playing Bob Marley and singing Bob Marley, which is beautiful. You know, I love that. You know, the generation coming from poor places or rich places, wherever you come from, it's still a message that is very strong, because she's very. She was very touched by the story of Bob and what he's saying and what it brings to everyone. So,
Well, his music is timeless. I mean,
yeah, it's timeless, definitely. And my son also is 16 years old, playing Bob Marley all the time.
they're big stoners.
No, absolutely no. But it's really about the
Nan, do you know what
message
they're doing?
and about, no. This is quite impressive and beautiful. It's a language from the heart, and it talks to everyone.
But if you put on, you put on anything off of Uprising, Exodus, even the early albums, Catch a Fire, instantly it seems like it could have come out yesterday, and it's still as good as it was at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you know something is classic. I mean,
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe my kids are responding well to that also because of that kind of sound, which is kind of not gritty, but it sounds like it was recorded in a garage or something, you know, that kind of very organic.
oh, for sure. Yeah,
and
for sure.
and because they are very sensitive about that kind of cinema too, you know, and
The
they
early
play music,
recordings-
so they kind of like.
Oh, they
that.
play music as
They
well?
play music.
Okay, they're musicians.
Yeah, they're musicians. My daughter, she plays piano, she sings, and my son is playing guitar and he sings, so we play together Bob Marley.
You play
I
instruments
play
as well?
bass and I play guitar, and we all three play drums, so we share instruments, and we play a lot Bob Marley. Yeah, though this is nice when you, as I was saying, you know, a 12 years old girl coming from this era singing Bob Marley and playing on the piano. It's just quite nice, you know. Yeah.
Well, Nan, I want to thank you for coming today.
Oh, thanks to you.
And I'm going to let you pronounce your last name, because I don't want to...
Oh, this is Nan Feix.
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 And that's how you'd say it in French as well, or?
Oh, we try to with my wife to say, oh, this is Feix, but everyone says Feix,
Feix.
but it's Feix.
Mais en français, on dit Nan Feix.
I try to, yeah.
No, mais Feix.
You should say Feix if
Feix.
it's in French. Feix.
Okay. Okay, so it's just X with an F. Feix.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but it's Feix.
All right.
You know? Yeah.
And that's an original last name.
This is the name from my wife.
Okay.
And I took it when we get married.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where was that? What's the origin of that last name?
Jewish.
Okay.
Yeah, Jewish from Austria. So my wife is Austrian. So my kids are, bi-language. Though they speak German, French, and English.
Okay, they
So,
speak...
yeah, and they read in those three languages, and they mostly sing in English, for sure.
I didn't... Okay, I didn't know,
Yeah.
because they're trilingual.
Yeah. My wife is from Austria, but she was born in Germany, but from Austrian parents. And but the whole family is from Vienna and Innsbruck.
Innsbruck.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been there. I've been there. Been in
Yeah,
Vienna
we often go
No problem.
to Germany, Austria, for the family for sure.
Innsbruck is good to ski.
Yeah. Beautiful. Exactly. We sometimes go out there. I mean, every year.
And where did she grow up in Germany?
She grew up in Constance, close. It's a lake shared by 3 countries: Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. It's very close to Zurich, and it's a lake, a big lake with beautiful mountains, hills, and forests. It's a little paradise out there. Before knowing my wife, I never went to Germany. It's been like 18 years we're together, and I didn't expect that. But now it's like a small paradise like Annecy in France, that kind of area.
I've been there.
Annecy?
No, Constance.
Constance, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've also been because I used to live in Germany,
Hmm.
in Stuttgart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Stuttgart. Yeah.
yeah, and I actually went to Lake Chiemsee.
Yeah.
So
Chiemsee Lake,
I've
yeah.
been there. Going back to the reggae, I went there and saw Lee Scratch Perry. It was like almost like an electro thing, but Lee Scratch Perry was there, and it was really really good because the resonance and the acoustics off the water.
Very well known Chiemsee, and also for windsurfing, it was a brand, Chiemsee.
I do remember Chiemsee, but that was big in the late 80s, early 90s. I actually had snowboard pants from them.
Yeah. My brothers were older than me. They were wearing that for,
My brother, too, who's older than I am, but I had some as well. I think that was like circa 88, 89, I think I had we had the top and bottom, actually, both of us.
Oh, yeah?
Chiemsee, yeah. Had that like guy that was like this and had like kind of a round circle around the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that distinctly.
Yes. No, this is very nice to have that kind of multicultural thing. And
Where did you guys meet?
in Paris.
Okay, she was here working or studying?
She was working. Yeah, she came for a man and she stayed for another man, me. No, she was she's an architect and we met in the street. I was just street dating her at that time, 18 years ago.
When it was still possible to meet somebody in the street and not seem like you're dodgy. Or...
18 years ago, man, it was possible. Hey, how you doing? We'd love to have some lunch with you, man. That's it. And yeah. So this is nice. So half of my family is from Marseille. I mean Provence in general. So we spend a lot of time out there. So it's really between Paris, south of France, and Austria.
You grew up in
Germany.
Marseille? No.
No, I did not. I grew up in a suburb in west of Paris.
Okay, I was gonna say because you don't have the accent at all.
No, I don't. But I could get some.
You could.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I spent a lot of time out there. During teenage time, I was spending all my vacation out there, and
I'm going.
still going there.
I'm
all
going
the
there
time.
in like 2 weeks. I'm going for the Marseillaise.
Oh yeah.
I'm going for the pétanque tournament.
Oh, yeah.
My 3rd year in a row.
Oh yeah. Did you see this beautiful exhibition in Arles? You know Arles?
I did see that.
Oh, the pétanque?
Yes, I did.
Is it not a beautiful
It
work?
was, and it had a great book.
It was so poetic, and it felt like dancing. With those very elegant movement from those guys wearing like small shorts, the bucket hat, and
Well, they had
and with the
little cigar. I guess they were mini cigars.
cigarettes
those,
and just playing like that, and it felt like dancing. I really love this exhibition. It was my favorite one. It was.
That's funny because that was one of my favorite ones last year as well.
It was beautiful.
As well as I really like the Tibetan soccer player
Oh yeah.
that then became photographer, but he had taken this whole different slant on photography, and he was like had hidden cameras he'd be taking. He
Yeah.
actually ended up immigrating to China, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. But he had like over 35 years of photography. It was very, very interesting. He was out in the, when you go out a little bit outside of, well, it's in Arles, but it's not in the downtown area where that building is that everybody thinks is a monstrosity. I think it's a Frank
The
Gehry.
Luma.
Is it a
Luma.
Frank, is it
Yeah,
Frank Gehry who did that?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, it's back there
Luma,
in
yeah.
in that area over there.
Oh yeah. I didn't go there. I went to the Luma, but not outside. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And then I also there was a Japanese woman who'd taken pictures of her mother's clothes and other people's
Oh yeah.
clothes. That was really interesting.
yeah,
that one.
that was. Yeah, that's funny.
So those ones surprised me a lot. But the pétanque one was really, really good because there were pictures all the way from the 50s up until like the 80s. And we were talking about this with other Buddhists, other people that play boule, and how people looked a lot sharper. And they just were they were well kept back then. Like they had little like Studebaker, like little little hats, and they had like nice polo shirts on and like a pair of slacks. Now everybody's wearing like sweatpants and like
Yeah, definitely.
it's more. And the look back then was really really nice.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, and especially because I love so much Provence, and I've been there since I was born. Because we always had some family in Provence. So somehow it's running into my veins, into my body tissues. So everything concerning in Provence, it feels like, as we say in French, c'est mon bled. It's my place. This is where I feel home, really. I love Paris, don't get me wrong. I love New York, LA, and for sure, it's part of my life too. But I feel like this is where I get all the, all the family vibes and what keeps me, human in a way. That kind of relationship about my family. And
a lot of people that come from that area talk about how they're attached to the land there. So maybe that's what it is.
Yes, it is.
But you did all your schooling here in the greater Parisian area?
Yes, I did. I did some cinema studies in La Sorbonne.
Okay.
Paris 3. So it's Sancier. I don't know if you know, in the 5th arrondissement. So yeah, I did a few years. I was playing a lot of music. So I was mainly doing music until 23 years old. So I was doing these studies, but playing all the time. But my dream was to be a film director. Since I was a kid, I watched, when I was, I don't know, probably 9 years old, 9, 10, something, a film called Brazil from Terry Gilliam. And I was so shocked about this film. I couldn't talk during like 2 weeks because I was so traumatized. But
that's like circa 85, right? 84, 85?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like his third film after he left Monty Python.
Yeah.
Because he did Time Bandits.
And that's funny because I watched the film with my son 2 days ago.
Brazil or Time Bandits?
Brazil.
Okay.
No, Brazil for me. It was I always talked about this film to my son who wants to be a film director. And
as well.
This was my shock. That was my shock. And then I always said to myself, I want to be a film director. But I was coming from a very humble family and nobody knew what to do at that time. But my father had a Super 8, like many people.
Wow.
And I was able to shoot, and then with some video, that I bought for like $5 at that time because it was stolen one. I was able to film some, short films and stuff and videos, and mainly some skateboarding and motocross videos with my friends. So I was like something like 14 years old and filming everything all the time, and a lot of pictures, argentic pictures also, because my brother gave me some camera, and my mother was very into art and very intellectual. She was always taking pictures, always, constantly. Everywhere, all the time, and many people and street photography. So I was very, influenced by that. And my father always wanted to be a film director, but it was impossible for him because he was coming from quite poor, families. So, yeah.
So you said you started when you were 14. I'm going to take a wild, not as wild a stab in the dark as you could think, but so you were born in like 78, 77?
79.
Okay, so this was like circa 1993 that you started off.
Yeah, exactly. I started when I was, mainly 14 years old, and we're doing a lot of motocross and skateboarding, and also some roller skating, and
roller skating, not roller blading, right?
Roller skating,
okay.
The quad, as we say in French.
Good, no, because...
Yeah, I was doing some half pipe, some ramps shit, and it was...
on skateboards or on roller skates?
Roller, water, on ramps, and then...
You could roller skate on a half pipe?
On a half pipe, and jumping and stuff. Yeah, it was quite a nice period, and I was doing a lot of BMX. I did some racing, like racing BMX for many years, and then I did some motocross at one time. Though the thing is, because my parents couldn't afford that, but my brothers were like much older than me, like 17 years old, 19 years older than me. They were doing motocross, so they bring me into that sport, and I was able to do it. Yeah.
So you were always attracted to the thrill, the T syndrome.
Yeah, definitely. Adrenaline. That was my thing, really. So, and because my brother was a surgeon,
Wait, hold on. Your brother was a surgeon?
yeah, he's a surgeon. He's from Marseille, and he was a surgeon for many of professional sport players or riders. So we knew a lot of professional riders in motocross, and so I was able to know those guys, and I did a lot of documentaries on motocross and supercross in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
So I went many times to California to film those guys, but doing like a few months of shooting with them.
So you were at the Sorbonne, Paris 3.
Yeah.
And you said you didn't really get into professionally shooting film until you're like 23, 24. You got the music bug out of you and you decided, I'm going to start to really film.
Yeah, exactly. I was always shooting some short films with some friends, and we were sharing like the camera, being an actor, being on the camera, directing. And at one point, I was able to had the opportunity to do some music video for some bands. And that was again changing for me because I did a short film called Asian Food at that time in New York. I was 20 years old, and I came back with that, and I did some music videos with some guys, and some kind of not well-known bands, but kind of hype bands in France, like British, French, you know. And so I had this music video plus the short film in New York. We were selected in different festivals, and I came into the commercial world, and I was selected like that, and then I entered in a production company called 75 in Iran at that time, and I started working on commercials.
I'm curious now that I never heard about this. Your first was the first short film called
Asian Food, but I wouldn't even show it to you because it's like shit. But
it was a starting block. I mean,
it was.
I won't talk about what your most recent film is yet because we'll get to that later. But have you always had an obsession with food as well as film?
Yes, absolutely. No, definitely.
Extreme sports, food, and film.
Yeah, exactly. My parents were really into food. They loved it so much, and they were cooking very, very well. And we always had a lot of friends into, chef into small eateries or, cool restaurants and even 3-star restaurants. Mm-hmm. We always were super in love with food and cuisine. And my best friend is Vietnamese, and I spend a lot of time in the Vietnamese community. I mean, because of him, spending a lot of time in Chinatown, Paris, and tasting all the eateries out there. And so the food and Asian food in general was really part of my life. And one of my brother was always traveling into Asia and always, bringing some new experience.
A surgeon?
No, another one.
How many brothers do you have?
I have 3 brothers.
And they're all older?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. They are like engineer, surgeon, and farmer, so very different as me. But they were able to add some different experiences and share with me those. Music and food was part of my life, and so in each of my music videos I was doing, there were food in it. You always had some people like eating like crazy and some noodles, Asian noodles or whatever, like in like very big shot, close up on the food. But it was fun. Yeah.
So it come from a foodie family. Yeah. But your parents didn't work in restaurants or anything, did they?
No, they did not. No. They were teachers.
Okay. And so you said you got into more extreme sports and stuff like that when you were quite young. When did you start skating?
I started skating at 12, something like that. 12, and then I never stopped skating. Yeah, I was still skating. I'm not doing tricks anymore, but I'm still skating for being able to film.
Okay.
The kids who are doing some tricks.
Okay.
Still riding in the street. Sometimes, getting my kids to school with a skate or something like that. But just to keep riding.
Yeah, I'd like to be. Actually, I probably need to call your brother, the surgeon. I got a janky knee, so.
Oh, please. I have a lot of, like.
I just got shot in my knee like last.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
just
yeah.
2 weeks ago again. The third one this year. So
Yeah, you can come home and you will do that at home. Yeah, yeah.
so,
He does that to my friends all the time. He
Yeah.
comes with the stuff and do that at home.
I might actually need to go take it another step. I'm not sure because it doesn't seem like it's getting any better.
Yeah, it's because of skateboarding. You just broke everything.
Yeah, The last time I was just doing what you were describing, sidewalk surfing. I wasn't doing any. I was just having fun, just,
Oh, yeah.
just cruising. And after that, I guess I was skating for maybe an hour. I had put too much pressure on it for too long, and then
Because
it
it's a
acted like
meniscus? Or what is-
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's classic. I mean, you can't do
Exact-
shit.
And
It's-
it was. So I'd like to get it repaired so I actually can skate it. That's really the reason.
Mm.
I can deal with the pain, but I really just want to be able to skate again.
But is it like a piece like broken?
It's
or-
fractured, and then there's
Yeah,
a
it's
piece that's
fractured.
floating as well.
Oh yeah, so you have to get rid of that. Yeah, I mean it's quite classic. It does
Mhm.
that all the time for sure.
Mhm. Well, you give me his card afterwards. I'll give him a ring.
Definitely. That's funny because after talking with him and going sometimes into the operating room because I love that. I went many times. I know I know about the body and the bones and everything because it's very something that you have on the sporty guys and that's quite funny. Yeah. It's quite nice. I actually filmed sometimes in the operating room for the the riders and stuff, yeah. And with the close up like that.
Oh, really?
Close up like this, and we are behind with the mask and everything. Yeah.
And they're like they're completely under general
Yes.
anesthesia. Okay.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah. But I love that.
And what was I going to say? What talk to me about, because I know that you actually moved to the States for like a year abroad when you were still in high school, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And where was it you moved to?
New York.
Oh, you moved to New York.
No, but it was just 1 year. That's it.
Oh, I thought you lived somewhere in the like.
No. My first trip was I was 15 years old.
Oh, that was a summer. Then you went.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
15 years old, and I was lucky to go to some of my parents' friends in Wisconsin, by a lake called Lake Owen. It was a small town called Cable, Wisconsin, and I spent 2 months there, and it was fabulous because people were so warm and so very welcoming. And but when I first arrived, I was maybe I'm gonna get bored. But they bring me into the forest, saying, "Oh, we're gonna show you something very interesting." And I came there, and there was a big skateboarding camp, and I didn't expect that.
Was it a skate camp or was it
a skate camp?
Oh wow,
yeah.
okay.
It was fabulous. So ramps everywhere, and I was like in a dream. And I spent the 2 months, the whole summer out there. And because the owners of the camp, they were so nice and say, "Oh, we don't see many French people." I was the first French guy, and they say, "You know what? It's free for you. You can come every day." And I was like in a dream. So yeah.
Wow, they said you could. They didn't care. They said you can come in.
No, free for me. That was
only
amazing.
French person for.
And I remember those moments, so that's why the connection with skateboarding and education and everything. I was doing some kickflip, and I heard the first kickflip I did. Some people like clapping like that, and I thought, oh, it was for me. And this kind of community of skateboarding.
Yeah.
When you succeed, everybody's behind you, applauding you. And I was like, wow, this is so nice. And I remember all those stories. I was talking about France and snowboarding because I was doing a lot of snowboarding and motocross, and I was telling them how it's happening in Europe. They didn't know about that, and it was quite a beautiful feeling out there of freedom and this connection between all those skaters. Beautiful. So I was so shocked about this experience and so emotionally connected to America. So I was like, oh, this is my country, man.
That was the beginning of your long romance with the States.
With the States, absolutely. It came with cinema, music, and sport, definitely. So I never stopped loving U.S. and even now, for sure, I want to give love to this country because love is poor those days and those desperate times. I really want to bring creativity and still doing a lot of projects out there, especially because it's dark. Bring the light.
What was the first film you shot there?
But it was Asian food, in New York.
Okay. The one that you would never show me. What's the one
Yeah.
with the other one that I have seen that you shot out in L.A.? Was that the second one you shot out there? Or was that the...
Oh, no. I shot many documentaries.
Oh, you have?
And I shot commercials also.
Okay.
Yeah. The first one I shot was a very long time ago, a big documentary on Supercross. It's called Un rêve américain because it was a French film. It was in California. It was 105 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a long documentary. And it became like a classic in French motocross world because it was a kind of behind the scene on French riders in the US, and nobody did that before. It was the first behind the scene. Now it's something very common, but at that time, it was in 2004. I said, okay, I never saw anyone doing some film on those guys. I don't know what's going on. We have all the competition on TV, but that's it. But behind that, what's going on? So I took my camera and I went to... it was called AB Moteur, but it was a channel. I say, okay, guys, you know what? It never had been before. Could you buy my project? And I go with my camera. My brother's surgeon. He knows all the riders, so I can get to them. I say, okay. And so I knew I had my film on TV, and I went there, and I just knocked on the door with my best friend, Anne, my Vietnamese friend, who were already living in the US.
In LA?
In New York.
You were living in New York.
So I say, I'm going to do a documentary. Are you interested coming with you? Yeah, why not? Okay. So he was my assistant. And we knock on the door at the writer's, house. They say, oh, my name is Nan. My brother is a surgeon. You know him because he operated you once. And could I sleep to your place because I don't have any money? And I slept at the writer's place during a few weeks to do this documentary. And I came back with this film, and that's funny because even today, when I say that I did this film, people are like, "Oh my! It influenced all my life into motocross, and I wanted to be a video, a cinematographer or a video director, or because they were really emotionally touched by the story and even the writers. They say they were actually watching it every day, and I remember some kids telling me all the lines from this film, all the lines. I was like, my God. So you can see, at that time, I was able to see how powerful a documentary could be, So it was just basic behind the scene. But if you take that as a social point of view, it could be very strong. So it was always on my mind, like telling something more powerful and probably more about social and stuff, but with all my passion, the motocross, skateboarding, whatever. But I didn't know still about the Latina community and how I could help them. But that was like the process probably already.
And who would you say, were you influenced by other documentary filmmakers, or were you influenced by other directors in general before you actually set on and started making your own films?
Documentary, no. I was not watching a lot of documentaries. It was really about fiction. So I was influenced by the Taiwanese and Hong Kongese movie a lot from the 90s. Wong Kar-wai for sure, but Tsai Ming-liang, Johnny To, a lot of film directors like that, and even some Japanese cinema, Taiwanese cinema, but even Thailandese. Chinese. I was really into it. Like for many years, I was watching only Asian movies, and I was watching that every morning at one Asian movie. So it was, it was really my stuff.
With some kind of Asian dish to go along with it, because there's
exactly. I remember this
noodles.
film. It was called I don't know the name in English, but in French it was La Fleur de Shanghai. From Tsai Ming-liang, and I remember like on the first row,
The Flower of Shanghai,
eating like that and watching that gigantic scenery and people eating on the screen and me eating. It was beautiful. And I was always watching those films with my best friend Anne, who's Vietnamese. And
is he in cinema as well?
No, he's working in street food.
Okay.
So that's why it came also with. All my project with street food. I did a documentary now in 2008. It was actually the first pop-up in New York, So he had a lot of articles from the New York Times, maybe the Solution. There was this the period was where it was a crisis, financial crisis, and he came up with this idea of doing some pop-ups and Anyway, and yeah.
So what do you think pushed you more towards documentary film work than fiction?
The fact that you were able to get your camera and do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That was mainly the thing, and that kind of to express poetry, and like when you are a photographer, you just have your camera and you go for street photography. I was with my camera alone, taking care of the sound and everything, and I love that kind of freedom because I was already working a lot in this commercial world, and it's packed with people on the set. And the idea of being just by myself without anyone saying anything to me, and saying, oh, you should do this and that. No, I was just all alone doing exactly what I wanted. That was that was what I was looking for. And obviously because I love people in general, and that was really about that, being close to people and interact with them. And
so the humanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love humanity. I want to be all the time with people, and I just want to bring that light of humanity all the time, and this is the best way to do it. I love photography, and this is a beautiful way also to express poetry and humanity, but the video, it brings something else, and this sense of the voice and
do you also do still photography?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I do a lot, yeah.
All right. So what was the first fiction you did then?
I mean, it was short film. I was like 15 years old.
Okay.
It was crazy, crazy stories. There was not really a script. It was the first one was. No, I wouldn't even talk about that. But one of them was just some guys, some skaters want to rob a grandma. The grandma is played by me. And at the end, the grandma with a bat just explode the head of the skaters. That's it, That was my first stories.
So was some of this influenced by like the clips that are inside of skateboarding videos?
Yeah, it's definitely clips from skateboarding. Yeah, exactly, and a lot from cinema. So I was influenced by Pulp Fiction, Tarantino, and this Asian film cinema, because what I love about Asian cinema was about the mix of rhythm and dynamics in a film. So when they break the rhythm. So for example, when people are excited and very angry, so you get a lot of cuts in the edit, and bam, 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 and the camera is moving a lot. And then someone is coming into the room with a plate with some tea and say, tea is served. And bam, one shot, steady. People are enjoying the tea, and then you get, so the work of the camera is really into the emotions. It follows the sensations of the actors and the people on set, and I love that. So I was really influenced by that kind of cinema.
So it's not only the actors that are going to carry the emotion, but
the camera is connected to
yes.
the actors. And I love that kind of organic thing. That's why I always shoot camera handheld, because I like that kind of fragile camera as humanity, and I don't like when it's too clean and too steady. And
so you don't use any of these new rigs like the Ronin and stuff that have like stabilizers and stuff like that?
No. The only thing I would use would be with the cinematographers and director of photography I'm working with, would be the Easy Rig, but I still want that kind of a wavy feeling, because
which is more of a steady cam with a suspension on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a rope, and it gives something a bit more stability, and it allows you to take the camera a bit lower. So depending on what you want to tell in the story and about the character you're filming, it can give something very interesting about his posture, the way he's expressed himself to the other people. So depending on the point of view you want to tell, the sense you want to express. But yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did with the documentary in East LA?
Yes.
Because, I saw that, and it's very, I think that might be one of the most impactful films that...
Definitely.
Yeah.
That was...
you've made.
So I was into the commercial world I love that, and I love commercial. I love the exercise. And I'm working with very lovely people. My producers that are following me for a while. Marine Garnet and Greg Pontex and Anthony Piotro. Those people are part of my family, and the experience bring those people around you, and so I love that, and because I had to feed my kids, also. So it's,
You got to put bread on the table, so.
It is. So the thing, everybody got his own path, and I got many different projects, fiction, documentaries here and there. But somehow I needed to have something very strong and something like this light I was looking for. And when I was looking for some very nice location to shoot, and so I had this project for Canal Plus, a fiction TV series, a mini series, so very small episodes, but 10 episodes of 11 minutes each, So
What was the name of that?
it was called Joy, and I really wanted to shoot in the Latina area in Los Angeles, and then because it was those places are owned by the gangs, and it's only Latina community. It's very complicated to shoot out there. So we had to find a community like a fixer to bring us in. And by luck, because of my producers in Los Angeles, they found this community called The Garage. So the story is amazing. It's an ancient gangster called Jerry. He was convicted for murder, and then when he get out of prison, he wants to do good. It's the redemption, of this guy. He wants to help the kids to not doing the same, mistakes that he did. So he founded a skate shop in the ghetto, and to help the kids doing well at school. So when you go to the skate shop, there are plenty of tables, and you get the kids working. So if they do well at school, if they have some good grades, if they do well their homeworks, there is a system of points where they could have some skateboards, clothes, and credentials for events, stuff like that. So
they can also, if they have good grades, they can go skate the ramp in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This is the whole point, and it's also helping the community. So you see the kids like. Kids with statues, like coming from the gangs, really, and washing the floors and helping Jerry to work in the skate shop. So I shot this TV series with the help of this community, and all those kids was part of the extras. Some of them were having some real. Roles, not the main characters, but some of them were having some, there were stunts and in the background, and all the community welcomed them, so they were paid for that, so we became very close because of this. But I was so touched by the story that I said to Jerry, I want to come back and do a documentary on you next year, and I actually came back the next year, and I came to the skate shop, and he couldn't believe it. You say, but you hear, you French guy? And he was really surprised, because usually you say, yeah, come back. Yeah, you come back, you never come back. And I did a documentary on the skate shop called The Garage, and the name of the documentary is called Tomorrow is Gonna Be Okay, because that's what Jerry says to the kids. Don't worry, tomorrow is gonna be okay. So it's very. It's dramatic stories out there. So, for instance, I remember Cricri, one of my really favorite kids. I loved him so much. I still love him, and I still see him sometimes. But he has a very, very complicated life. And at that time, he was raised by his grandma. Her mother was prostitute and junkie at the corner. The father in prison. His sister was already pregnant at 15 years old, and the grandma was already 85 years old. So, I mean, he was not going to school anymore. So, Jerry bring him into into the garage to help him going back to school. And that's actually what he does. Jerry goes to the gangs when he sees like 10 or 11 years old kids selling drugs at the corner. Say, you should come and try the skateboarding. You see, it's a nice way to express yourself. And the gangs allow him to do that because they respect the fact that he's helping the kids, and because he was himself a gangster before, so they are very respectful. And because it's very religious also, because it's always in the name of God, this and that, even if I'm not religious, I find it very spiritual, very nice that people just try to do good in the neighborhood. And so I was really touched by this story, and I came for this documentary, and I spent 9 months doing this documentary. Wow. From January to September. And at that time, I lost my parents because my mother was sick. She had a cancer, and she had she was literally dying during all that period of shoot from January to September. And she was a teacher, and my father passed away a few months after that, and both were teachers, and they were always telling me about giving love to the kids, so they could have some confidence and give love in return, that kind of circle of love. And always telling me about, always fighting for the second chance and the transmission, giving back to other people. And it was, for me, it was something from the everyday life. And that's not that I was not paying attention to that, but it was normal. But then when they were passing away, and Jerry was telling me exactly the same thing as my parents. It was an echo to what they were always telling to me, and a mirror to their life. Mm. And so it became, this project of Tomorrow is going to be okay. It became so much important to me. It was a kind of a legacy of my parents. And since then, all my projects about fiction and documentary are talking about education, second chance, transmission. I don't know if you say transmission in English, but I mean just giving back to the youth and family in general. Mm. So it changed everything. And so the way I was going at the producers, the meetings I had, it was something so personal. It changed everything. And now it's kind of a mission now. And so I always say to myself that I will never give up that, and always trying to help the garage first, and always try to help the communities that I love. That's it really.
Anybody can go see this on YouTube, right?
Not on YouTube now. No.
I watched it. I think it was on. Where did I watch it then? Did you send me a link? Or?
Yeah. I sent you probably a link, and you could watch it on Spicy now. Spicy. It's like a platform.
Vimeo? Was it on Vimeo at some point?
I sent you a Vimeo, but there is a code to that.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, so yeah, Spicy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Spicy. Yeah. Anyways. But it was a long time ago. It was in 2017. So it's been like I met them in 2016 for the TV series. Mm-hmm. So it's been 9 years that I'm working with them. Each year, doing some videos and photography. And with them. So the thing is, when we did Tomorrow's Going to Be Okay, the year later, Jerry was able to show something about their work. And he called me in March 2018, like crying, literally crying, saying, man, because of this, we had some funding for the scholarship of some kids, and for some new skate park, and some funds for the garage
good attention, good publicity to it, so that they could.
Yeah, at least they were able to show something. So from my point of view, I saw that it was possible to bring something with the camera. So this humble tool, the camera, was very powerful, and I was like, okay, so it's possible and it's worth it. So I never stopped doing stuff with them. So I did some portraits with some kids for their different associations. So they have an association called Love to Hate Cancer. So for those unprivileged kids who also have cancer, which is a nightmare, and for their main association who's called Skate for Education. So I always did some film with them, and then I started doing some still photography and doing some charity events. So we did a charity event 2 years ago in Los Angeles, and I bring the Hollywood industry, I mean people who I know, into the hood, very close by the project of the gangs. It was in Boyle Heights, but in a very edgy area. And it was nice to bring everyone out there. And so they were able to buy the photography. And 100%, not just a percentage, 100% of the money goes to the association.
Oh, okay.
And then we did that in London, because I'm working a lot in England for commercials. But the company I'm working with were helping me doing this. And mainly Loveboat. Loveboat is the company I'm working with for commercials in France and in the US, so they were always paying the prints and everything. So they really are following me, and we both financed my trip out there, and the editing and the color grading and every part and process of the films or the photography. So they are always behind me. Once again, Marine Garnier and Greg Pontex always behind me, trying to help. And I did an exhibition in Paris. And the funny thing is that Gallimard, which is a publishing house in France, quite known, they saw the exhibition and they called me and asking me if I would be interested in doing a comic book about this community. And never did that before. I'm not drawing myself, so they presented me illustrator. Her name is Chloé Wary, and she's amazing and very well known in France. She's doing a fabulous work, and she had a lot of awards already. She's 28 years old, and we get along very well together and say, yeah, why not? So it's been a year that we were talking about that, and since January we decided to go. So I signed with Gallimard, and we're working on a comic book.
That's great.
So I'm working on the scenario, the script. I'm writing, and we are talking about the way to do the it's like a storyboard, already.
Are you filming that as well? All the evolution of it?
Yes, I do.
I bet you are.
That's exactly, man. Exactly. So we went together to Los Angeles with Chloé. That was the first time she was going there. And the thing is, it's been 9 years that I'm going out there, and I know pretty well the place. Jerry is part of my family. My kids call him Uncle Jerry. Yeah. I go there with my kids a lot. So with my spoiled kids, so they know exactly what it means to be not in a good position. And
to have skate the Jerry's ramp?
No, they don't skate. They don't like skate. They don't want to skate.
They don't skate?
They don't skate. I tried to get them to skate, but it is what it is.
Well, you got them into music and into film, so, 2 out of 3 is not bad.
Thank you. So and Chloe, she discovered that word, and that was nice because I was able to say, because I wrote this first script, and I was able to say, okay, this sequence is happening there. Mm-hmm. This sequence is happening there. So we were actually going to the exact location. So I was taking pictures, she was drawing some sketches. And our project is to, when we launched the comic book in beginning of 2027, at the beginning, January, something like that. We want to launch the comic book with the exhibition of my picture, argentic film, and her sketches. And also because I'm doing this film on Chloe, as you said, we're gonna show the film also of the process of creating this. It's nice to have a behind the scene, her like evolving in the street and me talking to her. It gives something very nice, very
and when you do
very authentic.
When you do still photography, do you only shoot on
argentic?
Yeah.
I mean, I shoot also with a digital, but for exhibition, it's only argentic. Yeah.
Is it only in black and white as well? Is it?
No. It's color. Oh. No, because I do love the depending of where I shoot, but Los Angeles, there is something about the light and the colors and the sky and this kind of very unique tint, texture. Because of the location, because of of the sand from the desert, of the everything, the pollution. It gives
It's the
something very
pollution,
special.
really, yeah. I was about to say it really has to do with the pollution.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
but
it has a
it's-
lot to do with it. Yeah.
But it brings something very poetic, and when she sometimes the sky is just so beautiful. And Chloe, the illustrator I'm working with, she has really that kind of sense of it, the way to
For me, it's like a white light.
drawing. No, but I mean sometimes, yeah.
For
but
me,
when
there's
you
like
get
this
that-
ominous like white light that's there. Whereas when I go down to where you're originally from, at least your family from Marseille and the Mediterranean, I always feel like it's like more of a yellow orange sun.
Mm.
Whereas there, I feel like there's this sort of this like almost fluorescent tint white.
Yeah, I
whiteness
know
to
what
the
you
light
mean.
there.
I know what you mean. But when you shoot like early morning, or
Yeah, no,
like,
no, of course. If you
or
get in the magic
sunset-
hour, the
sunset
magic hour,
twilight,
yeah,
only
no.
shoot like that. When
You only shoot at the magic hour. Okay,
Yeah,
well, yeah,
only.
you're cheating. No, yeah, but throughout the day, but yeah, the magic
Yes,
hour is
yes,
great
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You get amazing sunsets a lot of times
Yeah.
because of the pollution.
Yes,
The holes in the
definitely.
ozone.
When it's pinky, orangey, and
Yes.
you're like, oh, this is quite nice.
Yeah.
It's very poetic, but it's pollution. But it's part of the charm of the city.
It's
I
part of
guess.
the charm, yeah.
No, but it's very bizarre.
No, it
because
is, though, you're right.
I love LA, but it's bizarre because I love humanity. I love being with a lot of people. I love bringing like young ones with older ones, and the neighbors and everyone. Very Latin style, My family is really Latin, with gigantic tables with everyone eating like almost barbarians, But like 40 people like eating a lot. Screaming and playing music, and this is my stuff. When you go to LA, it's absolutely not that. This is very sad and lonely place. But I love the very melancholic and nostalgic atmosphere of it, and because it's so different than what I love, there is something about that. I don't know. I love driving with my open window and the music, very cinematic music, like Mogwai stuff or whatever. And you get into that kind of rhythm and a kind of flow. I've always been connected with that. I remember I wrote a song about Los Angeles when I was like 5 years old. I was always connected to the city, and I don't know why.
This is a good place for me to segue into some of my questions for my interview at the end.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You've lived in the States for how many years accumulatively? Like 7, 8 years?
I don't know. I go each year since I am 20 years old. But I spent only 1 year in New York.
Consecutively. But you also spent nine months in California.
Yeah, and and for my documentary, I was spending like 5 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the whole process of competition and stuff like that. Yeah. For the TV series, I spent 3 months in a row, and I shot this movie in New York, in last October, and I spent in total 3 months in a year in New York last year.
What is it that you like most about living abroad? What do you enjoy the most? I mean, what touches you the most?
People, really, and a different point of view, and not being stuck with the same point of view. Knowing that France is not the center of the world, and each place you go is not the center of the world, and it brings you a lot of tolerance. And I always need that to see different people and say, okay, be tolerant. And everybody has a different...
Keeps you in check.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the fact that it keeps you alive. When I'm down there in East LA with the gangs, I feel really alive and say, wow, man, life is precious. And
is that because you know you can get shot at any moment?
No, really,
No.
I got some. But I had some sketchy moments.
I know, I'm sure you have.
And you're like, and then you appreciate life and say, yeah, man, I'm very lucky to be born in a place where you don't have war and with lovely parents. Because when I was out there, each time I'm in a family, a poor family, but when they are very connected and you feel love in the family, that's okay, because you know that the kids always gonna have this love inside and this light. when you are not loved by your mother or your father, and there is this conflict inside, you broke your whole life. It's a nightmare. So I feel so lucky about that. It's really not about money; it's about love. So that's what we want to bring in creativity into films.
For sure.
Mm.
That said, what bothers you or chafes you the most about living in Paris or France, culturally speaking, or socially, or
Open mind, not enough open-minded, and being very sure about what they say, and I think it's about tolerance, really.
you don't feel like the French are very tolerant?
No, not really. So many friends, for example, talking about the U.S., because I love many different countries, and all the countries, really. It's about individuality. You get some people, very nice people, and some people who are not that nice. But it's mainly comes from the education and the fact that I was not as lucky as we are. But the U.S. with the new president and the horror of what's happening, many people getting xenophobe,
They're becoming xenophobic?
Yeah, and saying, I hate the U.S. for this, for that. Yeah, but U.S. is not all that. You get people, very nice people. It's like in France, if you have like extreme right going on to, being president, and other countries saying, oh, all the French are racist, and saying, no. I don't like when people are like putting everything in the same, box. I think you have to be more, I don't like that, really. It's always easy to criticize, but...
Could you ever picture yourself living in a different country?
Oh, yeah, I would love to.
But where would it... In Europe or in the
No,
States?
in the States. I would love to live in New York. New York is my favorite city ever. And then Marseille. I love Marseille. I love Marseille because of the mix of culture, which is the same in New York. When I'm in New York, I'm living with a Vietnamese community, and I love that. And when I'm in Marseille, you have all this influence from North Africa, and from the Comorians, and with people from south of France, Provence, and it gives something very electric and very energetic, and I love that. It's quite chaotic, and I love chaos also, and that's why I also love about traveling is I love Paris, but at one point I really want to go to the chaotic part of Marseille, and I want to get into the greedy and tricky part of East Los Angeles and New York in the Vietnamese community. I love to always moving, and I'm thirsty of that, really. And so I would see myself in Marseille, really. But the thing is, my wife already moved from Germany 18 years ago, and she loves Paris, and I respect that, and she doesn't want to move. But if it would have been me, I would live in New York or Marseille for sure. Los Angeles, I wanted to live out there, but now I feel it's not the right time anymore. It's more about that kind of loneliness, really. It would have been like 2, 3, or 4 years, right? But it's mainly because I love cinema and I love shooting out there more than the life itself. And I know that my wife would be depressed out there. It's really not a type of life. She loves also people and being able to walk around and see, the spontaneity of Paris or New York or Marseille. You see people in the street and say, oh, let's get a coffee. It never happens in Los Angeles. You have to plan everything. There is nothing like...
And everybody shows up like an hour late.
Flaky California.
That's,
not even showing up,
That's that. A lot of people say, oh, that's the California flow. And I always call it the California flaw. It's just like this.
No,
like,
exactly.
Oh man, I'll meet you there at like 2:00. And
No,
it's like
exactly.
3:00. They're like, oh, I had to eat a bowl of cereal and I had a bong rip, and then it's like they all meet you there in an hour, and then someone no one shows up.
No, definitely. And it changed a lot, really. This is really about the myth of Los Angeles, and I was always like, oh, Los Angeles, but now really it's not like it was before, really. It lost of its charm, for sure. And I got many friends who left the city, so still love it from the bottom of my heart, but not the same way, for sure. But New York still got something, still have the vibe.
It costs a lot of money to live in New York. You have a family, live there.
It's awful.
It's very expensive.
I was really talking about the
dream.
The dream
yeah,
of it.
if you had 350 to 400,000 a year, you could live in New York really well.
I wouldn't be able to live in New York money-wise, for sure. but you have to do your biz out there, not in France. I mean, business-wise in France, you can't live in US for sure. But I love the energy and Chinatown.
I haven't been back in a long time. I used to work down well.
You're very French style now. You know, you feel more French or.
Oh wait, hold on. Have you just turned the tables here and now you're interviewing me?
Yeah. No, but I mean,
do I feel more French?
Yeah,
No.
I mean because you.
I mean, there's something, I guess, after 25 years of living here, I guess that there's something that's Parisian about me.
Oh, you Alf for sure. I don't know. Yeah, but
I don't know if I mean, politically speaking, I would say that I have a tendency to more, a socialist than definitely, or I guess a social democrat than I would, be. In American political terms, I guess I would be seen as an anarchist or far left.
For sure.
It would be more difficult to describe, but in that sense, I would say that for sure, in terms of economics and politics, that I haven't become that. I've always sort of been that, but found more of a home here. Although, I mean, politics have changed radically in France as well. Although I still believe in the system here much more than I do there. I still believe in, having a lot of my taxes go towards education. I mean, the education system here is 10, 15 times better than the States. Not 60% of, the federal taxes you're paying are going towards creating, bombs or giving, money to the military.
No, sure. No, but yeah.
I mean,
don't talk about politics. Especially,
well, no, I'm just saying. No, you said, do I feel more in?
Especially these days. I mean, U.S. You don't want to go to the U.S. right now for sure.
No, but you said how am I more French, or how do I feel more Parisian?
Because
in some senses, really I believe in. I also believe very staunchly in the separation of church and state, and I find that here.
Yeah, for sure.
I find that everywhere.
Yeah, but
politicians never mention God. In schools, there's religious signs are completely forbidden.
For sure.
That to me is a secular. This is the only truly secular country in all of Europe. Most other countries are still a monarchy, and the majority still mention God in their constitution.
Definitely.
And their constitutions. No,
but don't get me wrong, really, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons. But does that really have to do with being Parisian? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not aware. Maybe I don't have any kind of true clarity or self awareness about that.
That's why I say to my wife, I say you're French now, and you're much more Parisian than me.
Okay. Well.
I'm more into the south part. For example, that's funny because my wife she doesn't want to live in Marseille for now because it's too chaotic for her.
Uh-huh.
Paris in the middle of Germany and Marseille,
I'm definitely drawn towards the south. I think that I wouldn't mind living in Marseille because it's only a 3-hour train ride. But I think I'd go more towards Biarritz or Saint-Jean-de-Luz because there's the ocean.
Oh yeah.
You can get some. I mean, you must surf as well. I mean, I don't know.
Yes, but I'm so connected to the Mediterranean Sea. Mediterranean Sea is flowing into my.
I love it, but there's just no waves.
There are some with the wind sometimes.
Yeah, like for a month in Italy, I mean, I guess you can catch a couple in Mallorca. I mean, it's not like
No, for sure. No, it's absolutely not the same. But there's something about the Mediterranean Sea that I can't explain. It's like love. You can't explain that. I love Mediterranean Sea.
Coming back to France, if you could spend the day, the evening, the night with, not necessarily in a sexual way, but it could be, any living or dead French person, who would that be?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know. I just randomly, it's someone
spontaneous
spending the night with this. That
well, having
person.
dinner. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You don't necessarily. If it's a woman and you want to spend the night with her, you can. Or if you have.
Yeah.
The day you want to talk, want to go to a movie with them, have a coffee.
It would be for sure either a cinematographer, film director, or musician. But
which one?
Which one? Yeah. Claude Nougaro.
Okay.
Yeah, I love him. And my kids love his music.
I like Nougaro.
I don't know, I find him very interesting. And a cinematographer.
Do you like more modern or the new wave?
Oh, yeah, I know. For sure. Agnes Varda.
Ah,
I love Agnes Varda so much.
there's an expo, isn't?
Yeah, I went there for sure.
Yeah, over in the Marais right now.
Ouais, Carnavalet.
Uh-huh.
Musée Carnavalet.
Okay.
I love so much Agnes Varda. I mean, this is the way she's talking about people, the love she has for the middle class, and in that exhibition, she say that we talk about the rich, we talk about the poor, but the middle class. Sometimes there are, she was living in the 14th arrondissement her whole life. And the respect she has for people and just random people is so amazing. And she talk about them with they become beautiful, and the humanity she brings into a project. I don't know if you watched this film, Salut les Cubains. It's only pictures, and it was one of the most amazing film I watched in documentary. And Glaneur, Glaneuse, I don't know if you watched that film.
No, I haven't.
It is such a piece of art. This is really art and poetry, and I'm really sensitive about that for sure. Because nowadays, what I miss the most is freedom into the edit and the way you're filming and acting, and it's all about format and being like this and like that because of all the movies and TV series you have on the platform, the Netflix, Amazon and stuff. And not saying that there's not some good stuff, for sure there are some amazing stuff, and you got some brilliant people creating those. But I miss that kind of creativity. And for example, my son, who's 16 years old now, but he watched Pulp Fiction. He was like 13 years old, something. Mm-hmm. And when he watched the film, he was blown out because he looked at me and said, "Oh, so cinema could be like that with no restriction in a sequence. So it could be a one-shot sequence, and then you do whatever you want, telling the story you want, and
it could be out of order, yeah.
And it's exactly that I'm looking for. And when you watch that kind of movie from Agnes Varda and some other movie makers, it's that's what I love really about cinema, and Agnes was part of them for sure. And I would have loved to talk to her about the process and where where does a love for people come from, and just something like that.
What's your favorite curse word in French? Gros mot.
Oh putain, I say putain all the time.
So that's really you're from the South.
Putain, like the fuck, yeah.
You say putain, you say putain.
Putain, oh putain, oh. Ouais. Oh, tu te prends pour qui Non mais ouais. Nathan, ouais. Je fais ce que je veux. Tu vois, when you're coming from Marseille, there's this line which is absolutely fantastic, and it resumes everything about Marseille. Say, je fais ce que je veux. I do everything I want. So sometimes you feel it's very rude and and annoying, and in another way, if you really feel the vibe, you're like, yeah, shit, this is the thing. I do exactly what I want to do.
So
they respect that a lot. That I love that. So when I go in Marseille, I change. I have another personality. Really, I don't dress the same way, and I go 100% into the Marseille vibe and
it's like
and
culture.
France.
France is far west.
Yeah, definitely. We call it the Napoli from France.
Okay.
It's exactly that. A mix of culture, the kind of way of living where you do and there is that kind of flow. You were talking about the Los Angeles flow,
which is a flaw.
Exactly. But Marseille is a real flow, and I love that so much, man. I feel so. I will be tomorrow in Marseille. 2 days in Marseille for location scouting.
Nice.
Yeah. My wife is in south of France right now. Anyway.
Do you have a motto in life, or What would
Oh
it be?
yeah, yeah. It would be. I mean, it's be tolerant and be nice to people and never give up. That's the thing. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite drug? Coffee can be a drug.
Coffee. Yeah.
Cigarettes.
Coffee. No coffee. No, no cigarette. I don't drink alcohol. I was drinking a little bit of wine before, but it's not my stuff. I never. It really comes. That's funny because when we were teenagers and with some of my friends, we were the skaters, and I don't know why, but we were going to some parties with like rich people and bourgeoisie in general.
Mhm.
Sometimes because we know some people from there, and. And they were always like drinking a lot and smoking and like very being very feeling very I don't know, cocky,
Mm-hmm.
about that. And so we did the exact opposite. To say we're going to be much more crazy than everyone, but without any alcohol or drug. And that's what we did. We were drinking Coca-Cola, but we did some very
So you're like hardcore straight
bad
edge, kind
stuff.
of. It's sort of like the mentality of the hardcore straight edge. You know the like punk movement.
I don't know punk movement. No.
No.
But that's what it was really into reaction about that kind of community, yeah, and say no, fuck it, man. And so, but we did some edgy things for sure, but in reaction to that kind of. But then I became more tolerant, and I started to understand that, depending really where you come from, and you have to accept that.
Mm. I only got 2 more questions for you.
Yeah.
How would you like to die?
Oh yeah. Probably playing music while in south of France, for sure. With the sea in front of me. I want the sea, the Mediterranean Sea for sure. The sun, we were talking about the light in the south of France, so the sun.
Which is amazing.
And playing music.
So
my father actually died like that. It was incredible because he was with my brother in south of France in the hills with beautiful sun. I was not there, so and he the morning he said to my brother, "Oh, it's a beautiful day to die." Okay. And my brother didn't really pay attention to that, but there was this special light in the sunset, and he said, "Could you help me go there?" Because he had a lot of health problem. "Could you help me, my son, to go out that seat where the sun is absolutely beautiful?" He was kind of a poet, my father. And I said, "Okay," he helped him and just died like that. It's beautiful.
he just
Yeah, he
natural
just
causes?
sit down. This is cool. This is nice, and dying.
Natural causes.
Yeah.
Oh, he just said that was it. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. He was out.
Wow.
He didn't want to live more because of my mother passed away, and there was like a unique person, you know.
Statistically speaking, normally when one goes
Oh,
like
yeah, for
3
sure.
to 6 months later, the other one lets go.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been together for like over
their
I
whole,
think 20, 25 years.
Their whole life, they met. They were 20 years old, and they always spent their life together, and there was just one love. And I said, "It's my time. It's today."
How old were they?
Ciao. 86.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's a long life. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they had me. They were 45 years old. You know, I was an accident. You know, they had
Oh, that's why you're talking about brothers that are.
Yeah,
like-
20 years old. My older brother is 20 years older than me. Yeah.
Oh, okay, wow.
So they say, "Oh, do we keep him?" They ask my brother. Yeah, we keep him. Okay, and I'm there talking to you.
Oh wow. Okay. And my last question has nothing to do with any of this. What's your favorite skate video of all times?
I don't have any, but I would say that.
One that influenced you or impacted you the most, or you just ça t'a marqué quoi?
Spike Jonze videos in general, you know,
Mm-hmm.
The exploding stairs and that kind of stuff. That was something. I think I love the Dogtown and D-Boys and the Lord of Dogtowns and that kind of. at that period when we were watching the videotapes with my friends, I didn't have any of them would say, "Oh, this is the man." I was, yeah, strangely, you know, there was. We were watching all that kind of videos, but I didn't say to myself, "Oh, this is the one really who influenced me."
It's funny that you mentioned Spike though, because like not many people know that's where he got started in skate videos and then went into videos.
Yes, and I would say Kids from Larry Clark was a really shock for me. More than documentaries. It was always about fiction for me.
Well, that was quasi. That was like almost a quasi documentary.
No, exactly.
In some way, I mean.
So, and I would say, so there was Kids from Larry Clark, and there was this amazing movie from Gus Van Sant, Paranoid Park.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For me, that was the two films were really the man that, yeah.
Have you seen Kin Park by Larry Clark as well? The one he did in
No.
No?
No, I did not.
That's an interesting one too.
No, I did not.
What's Up Rockers?
Yeah, What's Up Rockers, but it's not that. I prefer Kids. Kids, I was like, oh my
Everybody
God.
was, yeah, I think, yeah.
It's like a gigantic strike in your stomach. But I was more into Paranoid Park because it was more poetic and that kind of guy who never talks, like mutism, you know, like that. And it was, I was really blown out. I would say, wow, this is poetry. And actually, Jonah Hill with mid-90s bring that kind of energy of the group into, you know, I love this line about skateboarding is ride alone together. I love that. It's exactly that. That energy of a group, it really brings me a lot of memories with my friends where we're like 10 guys riding in Paris or in the suburbs and like blah, blah. This energy, it was that kind of freedom. I mean, this is so much full of adrenaline. And I know I won't be able to find that again, you know. I mean, I think something else, but that kind of energy. And I think mid-90s is nice because you feel that when they're just riding together. You don't need more than that. You don't have all that kind of problems in your life. It's just you and your friends, and the rest you don't give a shit. And that energy is
Carefreeness.
My God, this is what you want to bring into cinema, really. So I think it was quite beautiful. Did you like it? Mid-90s?
I've never seen. I thought you were talking about Insouciance, and I was like, I love Insouciance.
No, mid-90s.
The carefreeness.
For sure.
Because I was just thinking about skating. And
mid-90s from.
I've never seen it.
Please watch it.
I've never watched.
It's shot in film, and it's. Did you watch it? No, it's beautiful. It brings you that kind of atmosphere and energy, like Paranoid Park. That kind of very poetic, super poetic. Well. So to answer your question, there were really two films, Paranoid Park and Kids, were really the blast for me.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on today.
Thanks to you.
We had a great time.
The Parisian.
That's a good note to end on, right? Super. Thanks.
Thanks to you, my friend.
What was I going to say? Is there anything that you want to talk about, a project, or so people can see your stuff online?
I mean, the next film we're gonna go out is Mam.
The documentary on the Vietnamese food and
it's a fiction. It's a fiction.
Oh, it is fiction.
It's a feature film. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a feature film. But the thing is, it's about street food in the Vietnamese community, and everything was shot Super 16 in Chinatown, New York,
Wow.
Manhattan, because there are many Chinatown in New York, but in Manhattan. And it's only non-actors, and all of them on the screen are my friends. So this is quite a very personal project, and for sure it's close to reality, and it's super authentic, and it's docu fiction for sure.
When does it due out?
It will be ready in September, but we go to festivals and stuff like that. We hope to have a lot of festivals. We still don't know because we start sending the film to festivals in September, and at one point it will be ready. The name of the film is Mam. It means fermentation in Vietnamese, and it's also the name of the best Vietnamese restaurant in New York. So the main characters are the actual owners of this restaurant, which brings the reality and fiction together quite nicely. And I work with my best friend Anne in New York, and I work with Gerald and Jung, the owner of the restaurant, and my lovely producer Marine Garnier, who's also my co-writer, and Greg Pontex, who were the executive producer on this project. So this is the one where I'm working with, and I'm working on right now, doing the music and the color grading right now.
Sweet.
Oh, but this is super personal. It's like the one in Los Angeles. I mean, this one is super personal because it's been. I know my friend since we were 14 years old, so we were always together. Working on some video together and all about food and New York and so this is super important to me for sure.
Sounds like good stuff.
Yes.
All right, thanks again, man.
Thanks to you.
Bon vent, mes camarades.